Supplies for this pattern, we'll need a pair of scissors. We'll need a darning needle for weaving in our ends, 2 markers, and we'll need a button. These ones are just some random ones I pulled out. I kind of like their color. I'm not sure which one I'll use. And for this, I'll be using a 2mm crochet hook. And for the yarn, I'm using a number 2 weight yarn. To begin this pattern, we're going to start and create a chain of 50. Now we've got our chain of 50. From here, our next step, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet into that 3rd chain from our hook. And then in each chain all the way until the very last. So a total, we're going to do 49 double crochets. And this first chain 2 here at the end does not count as a stitch for this project. And now here at the very end, into this last chain, we're going to put 6 double crochets into this last one. And then coming back down into the other side of the chain, we're going to double crochet once into each stitch all the way back to the very end. So another 49 double crochets. But I also find right here, before we continue on into where we did our 6 double crochets here at the end, I'm going to place my marker into the very first double crochet that we made and the very last double crochet that we made, which marks that very end. So this is also what I consider kind of like a little visual reminder for our increases, and also where we're going to be doing our fold lines. For our next row, we're going to start with a chain 2, which does not count as a stitch, and turn our work. Now if we look, we have our front bumps and our back bumps. We're going to be working into our back bumps, so the bumps furthest away from us. And we're going to double crochet into each stitch all the way up to our marker, so 49 double crochets, starting in our very first stitch, because that chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And now here we're at the end where our 6 stitches for our markers. We're going to continue in back loops only, 2 double crochets into each of the next 6 stitches. Yes, I'm going to replace my marker into the very first and the very last stitch for this grouping. And then we're going to continue in back loops only, 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way to the end. So 49 double crochets again. For row 3, once again, we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and this doesn't count as a stitch, and we're going to double crochet back loops only into that very first stitch, and then once into each of all the 49 stitches all the way back to where our marker is. Now that we're up here at the very point, into your first stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet into your next stitch, and we're going to repeat this 5 more times. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next, and then to finish off the row, we're going to do into the back loops only still 1 double crochet into your next 49 stitches. For row 4, once again, we're going to start with a chain 2, turn, and double crochet into that very first stitch, because our first chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And so we're going to want to double crochet a total of 49 times all the way back to where our marker is. Now here at the marker, what we're going to do is put 2 double crochets into your first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into your next 2 stitches, and we're going to repeat this 5 more times. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 2 stitches, and that should land you ending on your other marker. And then continue going down the rest of the side, 1 double crochet into each stitch, working back loops only. For row 5, we begin this just like our other previous rows. Chain 2, turn, double crochet into the very first stitch, because your first chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and double crochet into your next 48 stitches, so a total of 49 double crochets made. which takes you right to where we have our marker set. And then here, once we're at our marker, we're going to put 2 double crochets into our very first stitch. And then we're going to double crochet once into your next 3 stitches. And then we're going to repeat that 5 more times. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 3 stitches, and that will land you on this you should end on the stitch with the last marker into it. And then from here, we're just going to put 1 double crochet into each of your next 49 stitches until the very end. And make sure to replace your marker. For row 6, same start, chain 2, turn our work, double crochet into that very first stitch, and do a total of 49 double crochets. Now here at the top, we're going to put 2 double crochets into our first stitch. And then 1 double crochet into your next 4 stitches. And we're going to repeat this 5 more times. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 4 stitches, and we'll end on our last stitch into our marked space on the opposite side. And then to finish up the round, we're going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way until the end. Row 7 starts off just the same as our previous rows. Chain 2, turn, double crochet into your very first stitch, and then double crochet into your next 48 stitches, so a total of 49 double crochet stitches made. Now here at the top, we're going to put 2 double crochets into your first stitch, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet into your next 5 stitches. And then we're just going to repeat this 5 more times. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 5 stitches, and we should end with our last stitch into the same stitch as where our other marker is. And then from here, we're just going to put 1 double crochet into your next 49 stitches, which takes you all the way to the end of the round. Now for row 8, it starts off just like our other rows. Chain 2, turn, double crochet into your very first stitch, and then double crochet into your next 48 stitches, so a total of 49 double crochets. Now that we're here by the marker, where the marker was, we're going to put 2 double crochets into our very first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 6 stitches, and then repeat that one more time. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 6 stitches, and then for our next, we're going to put 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 4 stitches, and then from here we're going to chain 4. And then we're going to skip your next 3 stitches, double crochet into that 4th stitch. So what we've done here is basically we're kind of thinking of if you're doing the repeat still, but we skip the last 2 and the 2 double crochets into 1 to start the next and replace those with a chain in order to make the hole for where our button is going to fit through. And from here, we're going to double crochet into your next 5 stitches, so 6 double crochets. And then do our repeat again, so 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 6 stitches, and then repeat again, 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 6 stitches, and then from here until the end, we're going to put 1 double crochet into your next 49 stitches, Now for row 9, starts off the same, chain 2, turn, double crochet into your very first stitch and into your next 48 stitches, so a total of 49 double crochets. Now here at the marker, we're going to start a repeat, so 2 double crochets into your very first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into your next 7 stitches, and then repeat again. 2 double crochets into your first stitch, 1 double crochet into your next 7, and repeat again. 2 double crochets into your first, 1 double crochet into your next 7, and for the last 2 of this, you're going to be double crocheting into your next 2 chains. And remember, still keep working in only back loops. And then repeat again. 2 double crochets into your next stitch, so that would be that chain. 1 double crochet into your next 7. So that would be the last chain for your first double crochet. And then repeat 2 more times. And then to finish off the row, we're going to put 1 double crochet into your next 49 stitches. Our next step for assembling our project is to sew the sides together. Now our markers mark the first stitch for the cover of our pouch. So what we're going to do is chain 1, then we're going to slip stitch this seam together. So I find it's easiest right from the top, and we're going to come into the back loops for the side farthest away from you, and then the front loop on the side closest to us, and we're going to slip stitch right down that seam. And if you notice, I switched and I went right into the stitch very below the marker, and we're just going to want to continue this all the way down the side of our pouch in order to seal up this side. And then we're going to also repeat the same process for on the other side, but we'll want to tie off at the end I do like to keep the ends a little bit long for in case I need it for weaving in the ends. Now for our last step, we've got the sides all sewn together. I did turn it inside out. I just preferred the look of the seam. This one wasn't too much of my preference, so I did turn it inside out. I much like the seam popping out a bit more. And the next step is to attach the buttons. I've already threaded this one into the button here. Now we're going to follow down to where the closure is. We could count stitches, and so you want to find right where, whenever you just close the little pouch, where the hole is. And then we simply attach our button right into that space. Right here is our very center seam where we did our chain. And then tie in order to secure. Trim our ends, and there we are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a little thumbs up, let me know in the comment section what you think. And if you have yet to subscribe, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button with that bell notification next to it so you can get a heads up every time I post a new pattern. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.